There is a powerful truth in the words often attributed to Rumi. What you seek is seeking you. But this is not a poetic fantasy. It is a principle of life that operates with precision and certainty. Every great achievement begins with a burning desire, not a wish, not a hope, but a definite, unwavering desire that consumes your thoughts and shapes your actions. When you truly want something, when it becomes a part of your very identity, you begin to move differently. You think differently. You act with purpose. And here is the secret most people overlook. The moment your desire becomes definite, it sets forces into motion beyond your immediate awareness. Opportunities begin to appear. Ideas start flowing. People enter your life at the right moment. It may seem like coincidence, but it is not. It is the natural response of the universe to a mind that knows what it wants. However, do not mistake this principle for something passive. What you seek does not come to those who merely sit and wait. It comes to those who prepare, who persist, and who refuse to accept defeat. The bridge between desire and its fulfillment is action, consistent, focused, and relentless action. Your subconscious mind is always listening. Feed it with belief, and it will guide you toward success. Feed it with doubt, and it will lead you away from it. The choice is yours, and that choice determines whether what you seek will find you or pass you by. Remember this: the world does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you prove you are ready to receive. So define your purpose, strengthen your belief, take action every single day, and trust that as you move forward with certainty, what you seek is already on its way toward you, drawn by the power of your own determination. Because in the end, success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you become. Alignment of desire and destiny is not a coincidence. It is a signal. The desires that persist within you, the ones that refuse to fade no matter how often you ignore them, are not placed there by accident. They are indicators of a deeper path, one that aligns with your potential and purpose. When a desire continues to return, stronger each time, it is often because it is connected to something you are meant to pursue, not something you simply happen to want. Many people dismiss their deepest desires as unrealistic or impractical, but in doing so, they disconnect from their own direction in life. The truth is, your desire is often a preview of what you are capable of becoming. It is not showing you what you have. It is showing you what you can grow into. That vision exists because there is something within you that is capable of bringing it into reality, even if you have not yet developed the skills or confidence to match it. However, alignment does not mean ease. Just because a path is meant for you does not mean it will come without resistance. In fact, the challenges you face are often part of that alignment. They shape you, refine you, and prepare you for the very thing you desire. Every obstacle becomes a form of training, pushing you to become the person who can actually handle and sustain what you are seeking. There is also a responsibility that comes with recognizing this connection. Once you become aware that your desire is tied to your destiny, ignoring it becomes a conscious choice. You either move toward it with intention, or you allow fear, doubt, and distraction to pull you away. The longer you delay, the stronger the internal conflict becomes, because you are moving against your own natural direction. When you begin to trust that your desires are meaningful, you start to operate differently. You stop chasing approval and start following purpose. You make decisions with clarity, not confusion. And step by step, you begin to notice that life starts aligning with you. Opportunities, ideas, and people appear in ways that support your journey. That is the moment you realize your desire was never random. It was a call to become who you were meant to be. Desire is the starting point of all achievement, but on its own, it is powerless. Many people have strong desires. They want success, wealth, recognition, or freedom, but they remain exactly where they are. Why? Because desire without action is nothing more than imagination. It creates temporary excitement, but it does not produce results. The real transformation begins when desire is strengthened by belief. Belief gives your desire weight. It turns a simple wish into a conviction. When you believe something is possible for you, your mind begins to work in a different way. You start noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. You become more willing to take risks and more resilient when things don't go as planned. However, belief alone still isn't enough. You must act. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is through action that your ideas are tested, your skills are developed, and your progress becomes real. Without action, even the strongest belief remains unproven and unfulfilled. Persistent effort is what separates those who succeed from those who quit. Anyone can take action once or twice, but very few can continue when results are slow or invisible. Persistence requires discipline. It requires you to move forward even when you feel uncertain, even when there is no immediate reward. There will be moments when your efforts seem to bring no results. This is where most people stop. They assume their desire was unrealistic or that success is not meant for them. But in reality, this phase is part of the process. Progress is often happening beneath the surface in ways you cannot yet see. The law of attraction, in its true sense, is not about wishing for things and waiting for them to appear. It is about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts opportunities through their actions and mindset. When you combine clear desire, strong belief, and consistent effort, you create momentum, and momentum draws results. Every action you take sends a signal. It reinforces your commitment to your goal. It tells your mind and the world around you that you are serious. Over time, these small, consistent actions compound into significant progress. What once seemed distant begins to move closer. So do not rely on desire alone. Strengthen it with belief. Support it with action. Sustain it with persistence. Because when these three forces come together, what you seek no longer feels out of reach. It becomes something you are actively moving toward, and something that is steadily moving toward you. The subconscious mind is the quiet force working behind every decision you make. It does not argue, question, or analyze in the way your conscious mind does. Instead, it accepts what you repeatedly think and believe, and then it goes to work, silently shaping your actions, reactions, and direction in life. Every thought you entertain leaves an imprint. When certain thoughts are repeated often enough, they form beliefs, and those beliefs become instructions for your subconscious mind. It begins to treat them as truth, regardless of whether they empower you or limit you. This is why two people can face the same opportunity and respond in completely different ways. One moves forward with confidence, while the other hesitates or retreats. The difference is not in the opportunity, it is in the programming of the subconscious mind. If you constantly think about failure, doubt your abilities, or expect negative outcomes, your subconscious accepts this as your reality. It will guide you toward decisions that reinforce those beliefs. You may not even realize it, but you will begin to avoid risks, miss opportunities, and settle for less than you are capable of achieving. On the other hand, when your thoughts are focused on growth, success, and possibility, your subconscious begins to work in your favor. It starts identifying paths, solutions, and opportunities that align with those beliefs. What once seemed invisible becomes noticeable. What once felt impossible begins to feel within reach. This guidance does not happen in dramatic or obvious ways. It shows up in small decisions, what you choose to do with your time, how you respond to challenges, and whether you take action or hesitate. These small choices, repeated over time, determine your direction. Your subconscious mind also influences how others perceive you. Confidence, clarity, and certainty are felt by others, even when not spoken. When your internal beliefs are strong, your external presence changes. This often attracts the right people, conversations, and opportunities into your life. However, this process requires awareness. If you do not consciously choose your thoughts, your subconscious will be shaped by default, by past experiences, environment, and the opinions of others. This can lead you in a direction that does not align with what you truly want. To take control, you must begin to feed your mind with intention, replace doubt with belief, replace fear with purpose. Repeat thoughts that align with the future you want to create until they become natural and automatic. In the end, your subconscious mind becomes the compass of your life. It is always guiding you, either toward what you truly desire or away from it. The direction it takes depends on what you consistently tell it to believe. Reciprocal energy is a principle that becomes visible only after commitment is made. Before that moment, everything feels uncertain, slow, and disconnected. You may have ideas, desires, and even plans, but nothing seems to move. Then something shifts, not outside, but within you. You decide fully and without hesitation that you are going forward. That decision marks the beginning of a powerful exchange. Commitment is different from interest. Interest is casual, flexible, and easily replaced. Commitment is firm. It does not depend on mood, convenience, or immediate results. When you commit, you remove the option of turning back, and that clarity sends a strong signal through your thoughts, actions, and behavior. The moment that signal is sent, your energy changes. You begin to act with purpose rather than hesitation. Your focus sharpens. Distractions lose their hold. Even your sense of time shifts because you are no longer waiting for the right moment. You are creating it through consistent action. What follows is the response. Life begins to move towards you, not in a mystical or exaggerated way, but in practical, observable forms. Opportunities that once seemed distant become accessible. Conversations begin to carry meaning. You start encountering people who can support, challenge, or guide you. This is not luck, it is alignment. When your actions match your intention, you naturally place yourself in environments where progress is possible. You show up more often, you try more things, and as a result, you increase the chances of meaningful outcomes. At the same time, challenges do not disappear. In fact, they often intensify, but now they serve a different role. Instead of stopping you, they refine you. Each obstacle becomes part of the exchange. You give effort, and in return, you gain strength, clarity, and experience. Reciprocal energy also works through consistency. A single burst of effort may create temporary movement, but sustained commitment creates momentum. And momentum is what makes progress feel natural rather than forced. It reduces resistance and builds confidence over time. There is also a psychological shift that takes place. When you commit fully, you stop negotiating with yourself. You no longer ask whether you feel like taking action, you simply act. This eliminates internal conflict and frees up mental energy that was previously wasted on doubt. As this process continues, results begin to appear. Some are small, almost unnoticeable at first. Others are more significant. But each result reinforces your belief and strengthens your commitment, creating a cycle where action and outcome continuously support each other. People around you also begin to respond differently. They notice your consistency, your focus, and your seriousness. Trust begins to build, and with it comes support, collaboration, and new opportunities. What once felt like a solitary effort becomes a shared movement. It is important to understand that reciprocal energy does not guarantee immediate success. It guarantees movement. The direction and quality of that movement depend on the clarity of your goal and the consistency of your effort. The more aligned you are, the stronger the response becomes. There will still be moments of doubt, fatigue, and uncertainty. Commitment does not remove these feelings. It gives you the ability to move through them. Instead of stopping, you adjust. Instead of quitting, you learn. This resilience becomes part of the energy you give, and it shapes what you receive in return. Over time, the relationship between your effort and your results becomes clear. You begin to see that nothing is random. The actions you take, the mindset you maintain, and the standards you hold all contribute to the outcomes you experience. In the end, reciprocal energy reveals a simple but powerful truth. When you give your full effort, focus, and commitment to a goal, life responds in kind. It may not happen instantly, and it may not always happen in the way you expect, but it does happen. What you put forward does not disappear. It returns, often multiplied, shaping the reality you are building step by step.